Hey there, everybody. I'm George Lee, and with me here is Playoff Beard and DJ, and we're very excited to bring to you the new hero reveal. As you can see, we have this very awesome new list of stuff over here. So first, we got the latest news, then we got the abilities reveal, and something about who won the Arden contest, and of course, a full game reveal of the new hero. It's going to be fantastic. And don't forget, we will be handing out 1,000 ice after every single game, so stick around. And let's have Playoff Beard take it off with the news.
I can't talk with this thing on. All right.
Don't even try.
That was in honor of Chimera's new art for the new lore that's dropping this weekend, which is all about the Masquerade, which we did some teases for last week.
If you were sticking here around last week,
yeah. So
saw a little bit of something.
The Tazan Teenage Underground with their gas masks, to survive out in the churn, in the halcyon smog. So stay tuned for that. We have big news with PAX East. We are doing a ton of stuff in PAX East. It would take half the live stream to go into all of it, but there's going to be some really big announcements. There's going to be main stage spotlight matches in conjunction with Twitch. There's going to be all sorts of collectibles and swag on the show floor. We're going to have at least 2 cosplayers there with a cosplayer Twitter contest if you can find them. But also we know that most of you, even people living in Boston, can't attend PAX East because it's been sold out for a million years. So we're going to make sure there's just as much stuff happening online, happening with daily live streams, lots of announcements, reveals, surprises on those live streams, also other Twitter or Facebook or Vainglory Game Reddit contests. So there'll be a lot for you guys to do as well. A couple other things I wanted to mention lately because we're getting some questions about it. So Mightier and the Real Crawl have been really crunching on deep dive analyzing of the matchmaker and trying to improve matchmaker quality. And something that some of you may be noticing right now is that matches might take 1-2 minutes before they kick off, when in the past you've been just insta-matching in 1 second. That has nothing to do with how many players there are. It's not like it's waiting to find players. It's we are being even more discerning, even more picky with the matchmaker, trying to wait a little longer to put you in that perfect match that's going to be super, super competitive. Make sure, if you feel like you're high skilled, you're not playing with noobs. If you feel like you're a beginner, that you're not playing with people who are stomping you. So that's just kind of part of our ongoing efforts to try to make the matchmaker performance and quality as good as it can. One other thing of note is we've made some adjustments with the karma system where moving forward you can think about your karma score. Like if you're a level 20 karma player, that is mostly related to your glory rewards now. So that's kind of like the reward you're getting, that glory bonus is the reward you're getting for being a dedicated player, for playing a ton of matches, and for finishing the vast majority of those matches. But what we've shifted, what we're finding is performing better and we're getting better results, is to really focus on recent behavior when it comes to AFKs. A lot of people, when they think karma, they think it's supposed to be AFK prevention, and we want that to be as effective as possible. And what that means is that we're going to be looking at especially that last 10 matches, but a little bit beyond that, and giving you kind of that good karma, bad karma, great karma status that is almost kind of like independent in some ways of that level 20 karma. If you're level 20 karma, but you just AFK'd your last 3 matches, that's not okay. And if that's your recent behavior, we're not going to put you with people who are behaving really well. So that's just another thing to note. So moving forward, your karma score, really closely related to your glory rewards, but then there's also kind of good karma, bad karma based upon your recent behavior, and we think that's going to really help. Lastly, we're hosting Lady Wabish after this stream, and she's going to keep giving away ice. So we're going to have ice giveaways all stream long after every match we show you of the new hero. If you don't win ice on our stream, hang out. We're going to host Lady Wabish. She's going to give away more ice. Really good time over there. So, so stay tuned for that. And of course, Year of the Goat. How perfect is that?
So many goats.
There's a lot of people who want this to be the reveal of the goat hero.
Hey, it might be. Who knows?
It might be. It might not be. We will. You know.
I know.
You know. All right. We'll find out. That is all of the news. Do you have any more news?
Someone wants to know if George likes cake.
That's not news, though.
So,
unless is there any breaking news on whether you like cake or if it's a lie?
I actually do not like cake.
What?
I don't eat sweets.
Breaking news.
This is pretty breaking news, isn't it?
I hope that's a lie. The cake is a lie. All right. I think we can move on.
All right, guys.
To First, we got to reveal who this hero is.
No,
a lot
no.
of speculation.
All right, let's do this. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? This is the hero reveal. Boom.
Who is
Look
it?
at that. Who is this? Who is this? Let's see.
That's Celeste.
That's Celeste. It's
Yep.
Celeste. You can see her right here. Boom. Celeste, her perk is Julia's Light, so her basic attacks kind of are considered as spells. Like, they'll do bonus crystal damage based on how much crystal power you have. So you'll still have your base attack damage, but it's fairly low. We really wanted to make her feel like a caster, like she's doing like really heavy damage with her auto attacks, and we wanted to make them feel like targeted spells.
So people, you heard that right. You read that right. Her basic attacks have a spell component, have a crystal power component to them, like magic missile style, right?
Yep.
So you buy weapon, it's not going to help you, but that crystal, that means.
Hey,
all right, well, wait. We'll talk about it during the matches.
You could.
We'll
go
talk
weapon.
about it during the matches.
You can go weapon.
There's some things that some certain items that I'm sure some people are already thinking about
Yes.
right now when they just hear that perk.
Yes.
We'll wait until we show the full matches and then you'll get a real understanding of that.
Yep. All right. So our first ability is Heliogenesis. Celeste will form a star. Like, literally, a star will appear in the world, and after like 0.6 seconds, it'll explode and do damage. And it stays persistent in the world for about 5 or 6 seconds. So if you put another star near it, they'll actually fuse together and go supernova, and everything in the area will actually take damage.
And if you're wondering right now, you are going to see all of this in real full games, not just hear about it, but first we just want to walk you through the descriptions, walk you through the abilities, then you'll get to see it when you have some context.
Yep. And then second ability, Core Collapse. She summons like this little area of like stars. It looks really, really pretty. You'll see shortly.
It's
And
like a little constellation.
yeah, it's like constellations. It looks super cool. And after a short duration, boom, everyone in that area is stunned and takes a little bit of damage. Good stuff. And her final ability, the ultimate Solar Storm. I'll show you this. I'll show this to you guys. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna hop into a practice match and show you because it's amazing. Like, it's so good. It's so pretty. I love it.
While he's loading that up, I just want to mention this is an internal build of the game. There are particle effects missing. There are sound effects missing. There are animations missing. This is like serious work in progress. We wanted to show you. Oh, now you're seeing cheater. The cheater items are real. The cheater
items are pretty real.
That's the only way I beat Shinkagen these days. But yeah, so as you watch the full game footage here, there are some things that are going to be even better when this hero comes out and when all of you can play this hero. We wanted to do this reveal today, but you know, we're going to work right up until the last minute, making things as cool as they can possibly be. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So here we go. Heliogenesis.
No.
Boom.
All right, there's Heliogenesis.
That's Heliogenesis. That's part one.
Yep, star
And
in
watch,
the world.
Boom. Combine. Boom.
All right, there
Explosions.
it goes.
You can put
AoE damage.
I obviously have a lot of cooldown acceleration because I am using cheater items, so normally you can't get quite this many out.
Cooldown's still
but
pretty low though.
It's still a pretty low cooldown. It's about like 3 seconds, I believe. So if you do get cooldown acceleration, it's fairly effective. So that would be Heliogenesis. I really like watching the stars explode. They're really pretty. And Core Collapse. Boom. That looks amazing. It's just anyone caught in that area is stunned. All your opponents, you know. So there's a really nice combo. You can you drop your Heliogenesis, drop a Core Collapse, and explode the star on top of them.
There you go.
And Solar Storm.
All right, try to keep up with this with the mini map.
All right, let's do this. It just goes and goes. I need to hit something with this. All right.
Off the map it goes.
So you can actually target using your mini map now.
Yep.
Boom.
There
Amazing.
it goes.
And
All right.
as you level it up, more and more projectiles.
Yep, so more and more stars get added to trailing stars, get added to Solar Storm.
Yep.
So that leading star will pass through targets. The trailing stars will explode on the targets. The more and more stars, when you level up that item, it fans out, it gets nastier and nastier. That is a global that will travel all the way across the map.
It will not hit turrets because we tried that and it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about these as we get into the gameplay footage. You're going to notice actually even the build that we can play on is not even the build that has they don't even have all the same effects. So if you notice some particle effects getting cooler or getting less cool, don't fret about that. It's just that this is very, very internal right now, and there's only so much we can do with different builds of the game.
Yep. So that is Celeste for you guys. We'll be showing a couple games of her, probably like 5 or 6. So make sure you stick around. But first, the Arden contest.
All right, yeah.
Who are the winners?
All right,
Let's
so
find out.
Stick around. We're going to be doing full matches. Right now, we want to bring in who's here. Who's going to hang out with us? It looks like we have Just Insane, we have Chimera, and we have Kind Coffee. Come on, head on over.
We need more people to
Come
help.
hang out. Come
All
hang
right,
out.
let's do this. The art contest. These are actually super cool. I'm really excited for this.
All right, so for those who may not have realized, in the official forums, we've been having Arden art and fiction
Do you guys want to sit?
contests.
Or should I just sit and you guys can yell?
We like yelling.
Where people
All
could
right,
just
you guys can yell.
could just submit their art. So the guys behind us, they picked their favorites from the submissions in the forums. I want to say, if you won in the past, like the last time we did an art contest, we might call you out, but we're going to try to have all new winners this time. All right, guys.
So first up,
take it away.
Arden by Dude.
Bye,
What
dude.
do you guys think?
Dude.
Dude?
That's over 9,000.
You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up.
It's over 9,000.
Definitely over
Super
9,000.
Dragon Ball Z. That's awesome.
Love the pose, very strong pose.
Good stuff.
Pretty awesome.
I really like the black.
mic's here.
Oh yeah, you guys gotta like yell into the mic.
Am I doing this right?
Louder, more power.
More intensity.
He's awesome. This is a good painting.
All right.
All right.
Dude, good job, dude.
Good job, dude.
And Chimera right here, he does most of the lore art that you see. So when you see the new art, actually, the art that's out right now, that's all you, right?
Yeah, it's on me.
The one that's coming out this
Tag team.
weekend is Tag Team with Chainsaw, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Exciting.
All right, man. Next.
All right, next up we have another Arden by Call.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Okay,
This
this
is
is
great.
my personal favorite.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like it would be on a commemorative Arden plate.
Yeah, this is like a
That, like,
poster. Look, he even has like his kids here. This is awesome. I love it.
Awesome title, Arm
Yeah.
of Vengeance.
Badass 80s movie.
This is great.
Vengeance.
This is like a movie poster.
Yeah.
I could see this. Arden being in a movie and be like, Arm of Vengeance.
All right. If you see your art on here, you are winning 2,000 ice. Just by the way.
Just FYI.
Yeah, just
you know,
FYI.
just
so
saying.
good for you, man.
Yep. And next up we have more Arden by Lyle M.
What's the Arden contest? They better all be Arden.
Hey, there's a crystal in there. I don't know what you're talking
All right,
about.
this is being crystal. All right.
Hey, next
Thoughts?
one's Arden.
Art people, tell us your thoughts.
This is pretty awesome, man.
This is
Very
that's the
colorful.
technical term?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is technically awesome.
Technically, is
Amazing.
it actually awesome though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's a lot of motion in this one. A lot of like vibrant colors. You did a great job.
Good stuff.
I don't know if you can hear the mumble over here, but a lot of motion,
Emotion.
a lot of emotion.
A lot of emotion and motion.
That's a good combination with art and art.
You can feel the
It
awesomeness.
looks like he's still feeling the anguish
Yeah.
of the loss of Julia.
Sad times. All right,
There's a lot of anguish happening.
the last one we have is boom. Yet another Arden.
There it is.
Surprise.
So this one wins ice and wins one of the very last Arden 3D printed collectibles.
Yeah. So
Congratulations. Who is this?
Three-sided dice.
Yeah.
Who is this by?
Three-sided dice.
Three-sided
Congratulations.
dice.
This one's actually really cool. It's very stylistic, I feel. I'm not an artist myself, but it's very different than
What
the
would you
others.
call this? What would you say about it?
That's awesome. I just love the Conan type pose.
Yeah, it's a good
Very
Does he have a
mighty.
mustache?
it's a good pose right there.
Totally mighty.
It has like a classic comic illustration feel.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, kind of Frank Frazetta-y, Justin Sweet kind of painting.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Completely over my head.
Good.
I have no
Good
idea what
stuff.
any of that means.
All right, and we wanted to also award 2,000 ice to a piece of fiction that caught. I know Taka, this
Yes.
caught your eye.
This comma.
Name the story. Name the winner. And then everyone should go read this story in the forums.
God, Mike's over here,
I'm
Taka.
totally gonna fail at like reading the name. Sokolva.
Sokolva.
Yeah.
Sokolva.
Arden fan lore campsite after the battle.
All
Like,
right.
So,
if you read it, like it has so much story element. Like
Just read the first sentence in the most
Wait,
kind of
no,
provocative
wait, no,
voice
wait.
you can.
I don't even. Okay, fine.
Come on,
All
do
right,
this
all right.
right into the mic.
Right
do
into
this
the mic.
first.
It was dark. The only light that the glow of the Vang-powered stove cooking their food and the deep, steady luminescence of the huge Vang crystal.
All right.
Like the description. It's
I
just
put
so
him on the
heavy.
spot there. I'm
It's
sorry,
so
but that's
heavy.
good. Go read it. All right, so congratulations, Sokolba. You also win ice. Awesome story.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should go read it. I think that concludes the
that
art
pretty much concludes
contest.
the art contest, yeah. So
All right.
now it's time to show off some Celeste.
Guys, feel free
Really
to
awesome job.
feel free to hang around, like drop in, tell us what you think of Celeste, how
Mm-hmm.
you're building her, what you think. Like just be, you know.
Just feel cheater lethal, cheater on
Hang
our.
out, it's a party. All right, but I know these people, they want to see.
All right.
Build weapon.
They want to see.
Let's do this.
Let's do some art and games.
All right. Are you guys ready? It's time for the full game reveal.
There it is. I saw it
Oh
turn
my
yellow.
gosh, it turned
That
yellow.
must be its time.
It means it's time. So let's just hop into the first game. Boom.
Build weapon for everyone.
Weapon for everyone. All right. So, as you can see, we're taking advantage of these new pings. They're actually really cool. Like, I use the new like come here ping a lot, or I try to. Sometimes I completely skips my mind, but
You're
when I
talking about
do-
that group up ping?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
group up
yeah,
ping
yeah,
is
that's
super
huge.
useful. It's like,
That's huge.
come here. Let's group up in this bush. Let's just wait for our opponents to get squished because they're gonna face check into us and die. It'll be great.
Oh, there's the like super happy face that
So-
I call something else, but
Yeah.
I won't call it that on the stream.
So you might notice that some of the pings are being covered by the mini-map. That's actually been fixed. So this is like a little bit old, but you know, we have that fixed now, so no
All right,
worries.
so this first game, Celeste versus Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
I love this matchup. I think it's really interesting. What you're going to notice right away is that Heliogenesis, it can be used for harass, or it can be used to zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you have two Celestes who are taking different approaches to that, like one is really trying to zone with it, and the other's trying to harass with it, you could end up kind of harassing someone out of lane,
Yeah.
and then you can zone with it. So it's really a back and forth. It's really an interesting matchup. And we'll see it play out here, me versus you.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing about heliogenesis is that because the star stays in the world for so long, like 5 or 6 seconds, it doesn't seem that long. But
Aaron John says that we should use the recommended build for Taka with Celeste.
we should definitely do that. Taka, would you recommend this?
For
Okay,
anyone-
so Taka recommends building Taka's recommended items on Celeste.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, so we accidentally, and it's still there. God help us, it's still there. The Taka's recommended build is Arden's recommended build in game, which will be
Yes.
fixed in 1.1.8. I
Yes.
surely hope to be more protector style. But I promise Celeste will have a Celeste recommended build. There will not be a tension bow in there.
That would be
I
hilarious.
promise. I promise.
I just kind of want to try a weapon build. I've only been playing Crystal
No.
on her, but I think a weapon build could work.
All right, well, can you clarify though? Like people out there, when they hear that her basic attack is crystal power, like, you know, what does that really mean? Like, what happens if you buy a weapon blade? Nobody pay attention to me dying. Let's talk instead. Let's talk instead about what happens if you buy a weapon in the shop.
So if you do buy a weapon, you still get the standard attack bonus. However, by letting Crystal on Celeste actually makes your auto attack hit much harder. I'm not sure exactly what the ratio is, but it's a pretty sizable increase in attack damage on her auto attacks. So building Crystal on her is generally preferred.
Yeah. So her weapon starts out really low. Building weapon, it's not going to like magically convert into equal crystal. It's
Right.
not a good idea. Like, she is a squishy all blue mage.
Yep.
That's what I found so far. I'm sure some other people will find some off meta build for her. But she is a mage. She is super squishy, and she's super powerful when
yeah.
you build that crystal power.
Yeah, you might notice like when you get a pretty sizable amount of crystal, you can actually play her more as a burst mage. Like Scarf, he's more of a sustained damage mage. He throws out fire, his spitfires, he throws out the goop, he uses dragon breath, and it's all fairly small chunks of damage that build up over time. Celeste, on the other hand, if she lands her heliogenesis on top of I can't remember the second ability.
Core Collapse.
On top of Core Collapse, she's gonna immediately drop another Heliogenesis on top of a previous one, which will, you know, explode the star, make it go supernova, and that's a very, very sizable chunk of burst damage.
Yeah, so there's the most obvious combo when you're just talking about her, maybe her laning, which is Core Collapse to get that stun. It takes, you know, you have to really aim it and time it right to land that Core Collapse.
Oh, yeah.
Then you can immediately follow up with the Heliogenesis if the cooldown's already pretty low on that first ability, but also if maybe you have a chronograph or something, you're probably going to be able to get off a second star in time to supernova it and do some extra damage to that person with the AoE.
Like in terms of like other combos you can do on her, you can throw out her her Heliogenesis, Core Collapse, throw out your ultimate, and that will actually be a pretty good chunk of damage too, because all the projectiles will hit your first target.
Yeah. So I'm surprised you haven't said it yet. So I'm going to say it now because I know everyone's thinking it. So basic attacks that do crystal power, what does this mean for Frostburn?
It works.
It works.
For now.
It works, people. It works.
I'm vehemently against it, but it may not work eventually. It may not work later, but for now it works.
As far as we know, all the playtests we've had so far, unless it gets pulled out at the last minute, Frostburn will trigger off of Celeste basic attacks. It is only gated by Frostburn's natural cooldown.
However, her attack range is actually fairly short. It's shorter than Scarf, so getting that first auto attack off, not so easy.
Yeah,
and
but it is nasty. It is a good thing to build.
Yes, it is incredibly good. It's almost always the first time I rush.
There you see one of the caution pings and an MIA ping. So using the new pings right there to clarify there might be danger in the jungle because...
Definitely. So I'm hitting level 6 now and got that Solar Storm. I'm actually really bad at aiming this. And you might notice that the effects in this game are not quite what you saw in the ability bit we showed you earlier.
Yeah, it's not the same build, so it doesn't have all of the same particle effects.
Yep. Boom. Look at that damage!
All right, so the first thing I want to point out right there is you have a global skill shot. Your instinct is like to snipe from all the way across the map. There is maybe nothing quite as satisfying in the game as pulling that off, maybe even stealing an objective with it. But using it point blank, oh my goodness.
The damage is unreal.
You have all of those trailing stars, that kind of fan of stars, and at point blank range, you can just kind of plow all of them right up someone's gullet and do maximum damage.
You basically shotgun them.
Yeah, when you see like the shot you just saw, when you see it from afar, you might clip someone with 1 or 2 stars and 3 or 4 might miss. So those point blank ones, just setting off fireworks right in someone's face, super, super powerful.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, if you can land a Core Collapse on someone and just, if they have no shielding and you have full crystal, you can probably almost one-shot them. It's incredible amounts of damage if you land a level 3 Solar Storm on top of someone. One
more thing I want to mention, which you're going to notice in this match, you're going to notice in all the matches that we show you, and we are going to do 3,000 ice after every match to randomly selected winners, so stay tuned for that. Positioning. I feel like it's almost a turning point in our game, adding Celeste when it comes to proper positioning.
Yeah.
And it's because if you are a sniper or you are a squishy, and you get caught out, if you are in front of your tank, if you are not in proper position, you are going to end up getting nailed with Core Collapse. Maybe there's a Catherine on the team and it turns into a chain stun. You are going to get caught out and it is going to hurt.
Oh yeah.
Same thing with Celeste. Celeste is so squishy, she needs to be on the back line. She needs to be hovering right on the edge of battle, dropping those stars and doing her damage from afar. If she gets caught, she is going to go down and go down very fast, especially if there's like a Taka in the game. So moving forward, 1.1.8, I think you're going to really kind of, separate the men from the boys, the women from the girls when it comes to how good your positioning is with your snipers and with your squishy mages.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the thing about Celeste is she is incredibly squishy. Like, after playing against Taka a couple times, it's very rough to say the least. Taka will basically jump on you and you will die, which is...
I that you say this because a few people initially when we revealed Celeste here, they were concerned about Taka matching up against Celeste. So
yeah, the speed of light should be good.
That Taka matches up with Celeste.
So the question, in case you didn't hear it, how do you feel Taka matches up with Celeste?
So I feel like...
Slaughterhouse.
it's not a complete slaughterhouse, but Celeste definitely has to build more defensive, and that means she's losing out a lot of her damage. I personally find that a well-played Taka will almost always take out Celeste because Taka can use his abilities to dodge the core collapse, which is absolutely devastating. If Celeste is unable to get a core collapse onto Taka, she is going to die, 100%.
Yep. So we've had a few questions here, so I just want to bring it up. Can you just explain when we talk about, crystal ratios and scaling ratios and these things for people who are not familiar with that terminology? Can you just talk about that for a minute and what it means in general, what it means for Celeste?
Yeah, definitely. So if you're not sure what crystal ratios or scaling ratios are, ouch, sniped by the solar storm.
There you go.
Yep. So crystal ratios are every ability in the game has a crystal, or almost all abilities in the game have a crystal ratio, and that basically means for every point of crystal you buy, this ability will get an increase in damage, or increase in healing, or increase in shielding, or whatever it does, based on the crystal ratio. So if the crystal ratio is 0.5 and you buy 100 crystal, then your ability will increase in its power by 50. And same for weapon.
Yep. So people are asking, can you reflex block Celeste ult?
If you
time it perfectly.
I mean, it doesn't. It's just damage, so you can. There's no reason you can't reflex block it.
Yep.
Like
Reflex block
not
always
a
works,
CC.
but
It's not a crowd control ability.
yeah.
So there's nothing. It's just you're reflex blocking it damage.
I see you, Dark Moon. You're asking about the chat bubble on the top left. If you missed last week's live stream, we had Kraken Isaac, our director of UX, on, and he walked through all of the new ping changes, all of the new in-game communication changes that are coming in 1.1.8. So, stay tuned, tune in for every live stream so that you see the new stuff as we reveal it. If you missed it, go to Vainglory Casual, just go to YouTube and search for Vainglory Casual. The replay is there, as well as highlights on Twitch if you prefer to watch it there. But in the top left, that is, you can hold that and drag it down and it will give you social ping options. And then as you see above the mini-map, there are more tactical choices. So there's a caution ping, there is a group up ping, which is great for grouping up by Kraken or by Goldmine. And then there's a question mark, which I tend to use as an MIA ping, but people, especially if you're more of a beginner to the game, you might use that to say, what should I do right now? It's kind of like you'll kind of figure out your own uses for it.
Right, definitely. So I personally love using the new tactical pings. Like the ones you see in the top right are mostly tactical pings. Under the little chat tab in the top left are actually like, just friendly greetings and stuff. It's like thumbs up, like smiley faces, sad faces.
Beer mug?
Yeah, for the
mugs.
Cheers mug.
It's root beer. Root beer, yes.
You guys have to take shots. We put that. You have to take shots.
Halcyon Nil, does the ult have a channel time? It does have a channel time. It's pretty short.
Yeah, you might have just seen it right. You might have just seen it right here, actually.
Yeah,
it's about like 1 second.
Yeah,
or so.
it's enough that you probably don't want to trigger the ult in the middle of a fight. It's better to use as to initiate or to execute. I would think. Do you agree with that?
I sort of agree with that. So the way I usually use the ult is if I do see someone low that's running away, I will try to snipe them with it. However, if I'm in the middle of a fight and I do manage to get like a squishy target with my core collapse, I will immediately drop my Heliogenesis and then I throw my solar storm.
That'll give you time.
Because it can almost definitely explode them.
Yeah. What you don't want is just this, and it's the same with like say a scarf. You just don't want to be channeling an ultimate while you are getting ripped apart.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not going to work out for you. Yeah. So much like the way you would think about a scarf ult, although the scarf ult is a little more pronounced on the wind up. Pick your moment for that.
Yep.
I'm hearing there are a ton of questions here about when will this hero come out, when will this update come out. I'm telling you that we are still in the process of putting in the final particle effects, putting in the final sound effects. The sound effects you're hearing today, there's a lot of Scarf sound effects in there actually that you might hear. It's her voice, it's not Scarf's voice, thank goodness. But
she is now a dragon.
But there are animations missing, particle effects missing, sound effects missing. We're locking all of that in. And we're wrapping up, some more of the kind of product side work that we're doing. Yep. So I would say bare minimum, you're looking at like a week. So, you know, hang tight. We're going to get it to you as fast as we humanly can. Last time with Arden, we thought it was going to take longer than it did. So maybe, you know, we'll luck out and be able to get you Celeste really soon. For the people asking how much she costs, that is not my call. I don't want to put words in other people's mouths, but my expectation is the same as ours.
Yeah.
That would be my expectation. I haven't heard anything otherwise.
That'd be a good guess. So, for someone who is asking, how do you receive the ice? How do we know your in-game names? We actually wrote a little bit in the FAQ below the stream. So just scroll down. Basically, you send us a message on Twitch with your in-game name if you're a winner, and we will get the ice to you as soon as we can.
Will we add voice chat? Asks Superset. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. You know, I think most of you know at this point that we're really quite a small team, and so we kind of have to pick our battles. Right now, one of the things that's really burning bright for us is spectator mode, which is a ton of work.
Oh yeah,
a ton of work. Like we could spend a year on spectator mode. Obviously, we're not going to for the first rev because we want to get that out. I hope anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like if we put all of our energy behind a big feature, it's hard to do those on parallel path because it will just make everything take longer with a team this small. So there's a lot we want to do. There's a lot we're thinking about doing, but when it happens and will it happen, those are kind of calculations, you know, that people like Nansen, the Real Kroll, Captain Nito, Surprise Birthday are making, you know, based on just kind of what we think is going to help accelerate the game. There's a ton that we want to get to, obviously.
Yep, definitely. So you might see here, Celeste and Arden actually make a very good combo, especially when you have a pedal on the team, because Arden just locks everyone in, and then Celeste just has this very, well, not small, but fairly concentrated area where she can just throw out Heliogenesis, throw out all her abilities, and it makes it much harder for you to miss.
Yeah, it's really nice when they're stuck in that gauntlet and to land your core collapse, to land your heliogenesis. But that's not actually even the #1 reason that I like the Celeste Arden combo, besides the family lore synergies. It's also that Celeste is super squishy.
Oh yeah.
And you need that tank. You absolutely need that tank in your team comp. And then if you have a tank that can also give you that protection, that kind of clutch Vanguard protection when you need it, or even like a gauntlet to peel, it works out really, really well for Celeste. So I really, really like that combination. I also like Catherine. It's a little bit apocryphal to say. I really like Catherine with Celeste.
Oh, yeah.
I really like Kroll with Celeste. And why?
Stuns on stuns on
stuns.
stuns.
On stuns. Stuns on stuns. Those chain stuns, super nasty. And you know what? Before you start screaming that it's not fair that you're getting chain stunned, if you're getting chain stunned, you're probably caught out.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to learn to be a little bit less hyper aggressive when you know that you're facing a team comp like that. Make sure you don't get caught out. Make sure you don't end up having a Kroll Hellraiser sword in your face, followed by a Catherine Merciless Pursuit, followed by a Celeste Core Collapse, because you can go get a sandwich because you are not getting out of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just spend those 15 seconds you're dead to get a sandwich. Why not? So yeah, you might see Celeste Solar Storm coming in from the other team. We actually have changed those animations so that they are more distinguishable between you and your opponents. But for this game, you'll be seeing them looking pretty similar. Yeah. As you can see, going full crystal, it hits pretty hard.
Yeah. So for Dark Wizard, is the chat stuff on the top left, the social pings confirmed? Yeah, they're totally confirmed. They're totally confirmed. Unless something happens, they will be in 1.1.8.
Yep. Yeah. So enjoy giving massive thumbs up. Actually, so if you weren't here last week, make sure you hold down those buttons because they grow and become more awesome. Like the smiley faces, they just become like extra smiley or something. It's awesome.
I see a couple people asking if we're ever going to integrate like ideas by fan. What I can say, we've been going back and forth over and over and over again on the name of Celeste Ultimate. I think it's probably going to be Solar Storm. There are kind of pros and cons to that we bounce it around. If you come up with the most amazing name for that Ultimate, maybe, possibly, maybe it would change.
Yeah,
maybe it would change. So, and I'll give you ice or something along with in the patch notes. I'll call you out. So if you come up, you saw what it looks like. A star, lead star with all the trailing stars, that crazy, global skill shot. If you come up with the perfect name for our Celestial Mage's Ultimate, we'll hook you up for sure if you come up with something better than Solar Storm and we decide to use it.
Definitely. So right there you saw Celeste with Frostburn chasing down Arden. It's brutal. You can't get away. So many slows. It's so painful. But that's really what she has to do, because if you don't land that first heliogenesis, it's extremely hard to actually land your abilities on someone who, especially someone who has tier 3 boots, because they're just running circles around you and you can't hit anything.
Yeah. So one more thing, because I know some of you with really eagle eyes are going to notice this. This is, again, so this is internal playtesting build. Oh, the solar storm's flying everywhere. If you notice, if you look really carefully, you are going to see some items that do not look like what they look like in your current live build, that do not have the same cost, or maybe even the same build path as things in the current live build. That does not mean, if you see it, if you freeze frame and analyze this video later, it does not mean it's going to be in 1.1.8. We are constantly testing out item changes, item reworks. Some things are like, fly by night. We have a wild lark and we try it, and then it's gone, and it never sees the light of day again. Some things we really believe in and we kind of work on until we get them right. So don't draw too many assumptions, but it's still kind of cool, give you a sense into the design thinking, into what, especially Surprise Birthday is playing around with when it comes to some of our items. So keep an eagle eye out for the shop as we go through the streams today. Good game. You got the better of that one.
Yes.
Celeste finishing, what was that, like 6-2 or something?
Pretty solid, 6-2 or so. Yeah.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for the shop. You might just notice some things that show up in 1.1.8. Certainly will at least blow your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we're playing around with when it comes to the items in the game. We're gonna do ice. We're gonna do 3,000 ice.
So 3,000 ice, and then we're gonna do another game of Celeste.
All right, and you guys talk or do what you do.
Things.
While
Things.
tell us what you think about Celeste.
Say things. What do we do?
All right, here comes the ice. I'm only going to say this once, and then please police each other. You don't have to spam chat. It's completely, utterly random who wins ice. I just push the button, and Twitch tells me who wins based upon people who are following the channel and who are watching the stream. So that's how you win ice. If you do win ice, send a private message to Vainglory on Twitch. Just go to the profile, hit the gear, hit the message button, and give us your Vainglory player name. That's all we need in order to give you your 1,000 ice if you're randomly selected.
Yep.
If you somehow struggle with this, you cannot figure out how to do it, just send an email to support@superevilmegacorp.com. The good people over there will make sure you get the ice that you deserve. Otherwise, I will probably take care of it personally for you sometime tonight, tomorrow at the very latest. And let's go ahead.
Yep, so make sure you send us a message, or else we're not going to get your ice. We want to give you your ice. It's awesome.
We want to give you your ice.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Who should we have
You
beat
can
the
use
first
it to
winner?
unlock heroes, and there will be more things that you can use it for down the road.
This is true.
All right, first one.
Drum roll.
Tell us the winner. Who is the first winner?
EK Gaming Legend.
EK Gaming Legend
EK Gaming Legend.
Is a winner.
Congratulations.
of 1,000, not 100. I'm going to try to type
You only
it
get
at the same
100 ice,
time.
sorry.
Is a winner of
Sorry.
1,000 ice. I'm going to write down your name because otherwise you will get nothing. And we're going to do this
No
again.
ice for you.
All right, two more winners. Two more winners right now. Chimera, please do the honors. Who is the winner? Try to pronounce that.
Arthur Ascioli.
Arthur.
Arthur, actually?
Arthur is a winner.
Congratulations.
1,000 ice. 1,000 ice. Congratulations. Make sure you send us your Vainglory player name.
Yay.
And Justin Sane, please tell us the
And
third
the final
winner.
Peace Dolina.
Peace Delina is a winner of 1,000 ice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yay. So 3,000 ice after every match. Lots more to come. And there's a ton of people watching right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you do not win ice on our stream, please stay around for Lady Wabish, who's just a really fun streamer. And she's going to keep giving away ice courtesy of Super Evil when we host her after we wrap today. So more chances to win ice on
definitely.
her stream.
Also, if you
afterward.
did not get a chance to see, if you tuned in too late or anything, we will have the stream posted onto our YouTube, our Vainglory Casual YouTube channel. So it'll be there probably, tonight or tomorrow morning sometime.
If you missed it, if you missed last week, if you missed our UX director talking about the social pings, you should check out the replays.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Check out the replays for sure.
Totally worth checking out.
Do people want to see more Celeste, or are they kind
Nah,
of
I think they're done. Let's call it a day.
So normally, if you don't normally tune in for the live stream, our normal routine, we do news, we do product reveals, and then we do a lot of viewer matches. We cannot do viewer matches with Celeste because in order to do that, we would have to put her live in the game, and that is not something we can do without submitting to Apple. So today there is going to be a lot of internal games that you're going to see, but definitely, you know, come back next week for your chance to take on former Team Curse MOBA Pro Zken. You know, we had EU represented really well.
I got my butt kicked.
EU represented really well
Shin
last
went
week.
to back him up too, and then I got my butt super kicked.
So definitely stay tuned next week and play with or against Zken. It's something special. I mean, he's been on the big stage. He's played in the huge tournaments. He's won the millions, and now you can try to take him down. Yeah.
All right. Next game. Are you guys ready? I think you're ready. Let's do it.
Also, Darling 0000, you calm down.
Whoa! Calling you out.
Shots fired in the chat.
Shots are being fired.
I do also want to mention Halu. Amazing art. Harry Potter, extraordinary art. We want to give you shout outs. We don't want you to win like every contest we ever do. But
Stop winning.
But thank you for participating in this contest. The stuff is just so good.
Yep.
I mean, it's just so good, so good.
We only allow you guys to win so much. Sorry. You can't win everything. Gotta give everyone else a chance.
Double take. I'm not even going to repeat your name, but that's not going to be the name of the ultimate. That's not going to be the name of the ultimate, dude. Yeah, so maybe this match, you know, we've been trying to kind of get everyone up to speed. This match, let's really like dial in and talk about some of what we see in the match itself.
So this game, once again, we're facing off me versus Playoff Beard, and I'm pretty sure this isn't the same game, right? No, it's not. Okay. I was not 100% sure, but I'm like,
well, it's
I feel like I'm playing against you a lot.
Yeah. So basically, we want to show you a lot of Celeste, so we're doing some dual Celeste, obviously.
Yeah.
But I find it kind of as interesting. So tell me what you think about Celeste versus a Saw, Celeste versus a Petal. What do you think about the other lane matchups?
So Celeste versus Saw is actually one of the most brutal lanes for Saw in existence, because the moment Saw gets his stacks of spin up, then Celeste just drops stars on him all day, and he cannot hit her because it's just slightly out of his range, and he's just stuck in place waiting for a core collapse to hit him. So if you're ever laning against a Saw and you have a Celeste on your team, you should let her lane against him, because those are the easiest ganks you can ever pull off. Saw starts spinning up, you drop core collapse on him, your junglers come in, he's dead, goodbye. Petal, on the other hand, Petal is tricky. At level 6, Petal definitely has an upper hand against Celeste, because the burst damage coming out from her spontaneous combustion is just absolutely crazy, especially for Celeste, who has almost no health. Like, Celeste's base health is pretty low. But for Celeste versus Celeste matchup, these are actually really fun in my opinion, because it really lets you see like, how does everyone like using their abilities? How does everyone like using their energy? Like, you might see that I'm generally using it to harass. I try not to use my energy to farm too much. And Playoff Beard is generally using it more to, get those last hits, make sure he can get that gold.
Yeah, and that's really interesting to watch. Also, what you'll see in these matches, it's very interesting kind of the decisions that you have to make. Like, I really like using Heliogenesis, especially, it's got a pretty low cooldown. Add a little bit of cooldown acceleration to that. Really using it to zone, and for anyone who might not know precisely what I mean when I say that, dropping those stars just in spots that give the enemy pause, make them have to go around the stars. Oh, there's a really good blade gang. That catches the Celeste out. She's able to.
But I'm okay. All is well.
Get out of there, turning back into the fray. Very daring, but it is Zken.
A little bit lucky there that Petal didn't hit me. I'm pretty sure she was in range and just didn't auto attack me. So, close.
Yeah. So again, with the zoning, you can use those stars. You can get enough of them out on the battlefield at the same time to force enemies to take another path unless they want to walk through it and take damage. So you can really kind of, dictate or kind of re-engineer the landscape of the fight or the non-fight to a certain degree by placing those stars not to necessarily try to hit the enemy, but to influence the way the enemy is thinking, to influence the way the enemy has to position.
Yeah, definitely.
The flip side of that
Mining
is
has
you
begun.
can really try to line those up, to time them exactly right,
Yeah,
to
the speed of
anticipate
light
the
should be
movement and the direction of the enemy, and drop those stars right on them for the damage, and then drop that second star, make it go supernova, make them take the AoE damage. Say it loud.
Question from the chat. Now that you're speaking about the stars with Celeste, what's the range like on that? Anything comparable to a hero that's somewhat there already?
I know the numbers, but I'm not exactly sure what.
Go ahead and say the
compares
number,
to.
and then obviously keep an eye out. When the modal comes up,
Yep.
you see it's almost the size of the ring in the middle of the Halcyon Fold there.
So the actual number is 7. The range of
7 meters.
7 meters. Yeah.
Rides
So,
like a bird.
however, when you get her overdrive on her A, it actually increases to 9. So you might notice like halfway through the game, suddenly the range dramatically increases, and that's really where Celeste hits her stride. Like when she can start zoning people with that, it's not quite. It's about the same range as a turret at that point. But up until when she hits level 8 or so, it's it's 7. It's sizable but not huge.
Yeah. So I'm maxing A. Are you maxing A?
Always.
Yeah, you're maxing Heliogenesis. I'm maxing Heliogenesis. That extra range,
Isn't that
super huge. For where's the name? I missed the name, but can you be stunned out of your ult? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can be stunned out of your ult during that wind-up time.
Yep. It's like any other channel ult. If you get it canceled, you get a little bit of the cooldown back. So it's not the worst thing ever, but it still kind of sucks to get stunned out of your ult.
And Count the Monk asking about, does the star provide vision in bushes? This is very important. It's another element to Celeste. Basically everything in Celeste's kit
The light is
will
your
grant a small amount of vision. So her basic attacks, those spell-infused basic attacks, will grant a small amount of vision. The stars in the world are kind of like mini scout traps.
Yep.
For that brief time that they're alive on the world, they will grant a tiny bit of vision. Core collapse on hitting someone, tiny bit of vision, and then the solar storm also. So it's brief, but it's important tactically if you are paying attention, especially if you got a good eye for the movement.
Oh, definitely. So just being able to keep track of like approximately where enemies are. If you think they're doing a camp, you might be able to snipe a minion camp away from them. However, throwing your ult out willy-nilly is probably not the best idea, considering it does a pretty good chunk of damage.
Ben-Tim1, who makes some awesome videos, YouTube videos, he's asking if alternating current will work with Celeste, if it's a good item. What do you think?
That is actually one of my favorite builds on Celeste. Because her cooldown on her Heliogenesis is so low, you can take advantage of alternating current every single time it's up. So one of my favorite builds is go slightly tanky and just get alternating current and just being like, well, you're auto attacking, you get a little bit of attacks, so you get alternating current, you get an aftershock, and you just start throwing out her A, landing auto attacks, and just constantly doing that.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to worry about landing your ability too much, because all you want it to do is get that auto attack damage in.
We have a question about, so Mr. Dubstep, Mr. Dubstab, that's a good name. He wants to know if you can control when the Heliogenesis star explodes or disappears. And so when it disappears, just the one star, when that disappears in the world, you do not control that.
Yeah, that's just, it times out. It's like, it stays on for about 6-7 seconds.
But
if you drop another star on an already existing star, it will go supernova and do that little burst of damage. So that you are controlling.
does the ult do damage to turrets in the Vein Crystal? As of right now, no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll keep it at no, because
It's too nasty.
Yeah, because there was one test we tried which was literally ulting down lane from your base over and over, and that was not fun.
Yeah, that was not good. So probably not. However, Heliogenesis will affect turrets.
Yes, and it hits turrets really, really, really hard, considering it's a pretty short cooldown, and just the natural crystal scaling on it will make you do quite a bit of damage, especially with the supernovas.
Yeah.
I am my own.
Yeah, so for those of you who are wondering about Core Collapse's overdrive, currently it's the base value is a 1 second stun, but if you get the overdrive on it, it'll become 1.5 second stun. So there's a little bit of balance between, if you want to go more of a supporty, like kind of like supporting your front line or your other backline members with Celeste, going for more cooldown acceleration is actually fairly effective because you can get a really short cooldown on your core collapse and just keep throwing that out, get those stuns off, help your teammates do damage.
That's important. I just got an email from Captain Nito. He's not in the state right now. Or not, wait, I think he is in the state. California is a big state. But he's nowhere near us right now.
Nope.
But he says hi.
Oh, hello.
So, hello from Captain Nito to everyone out there. Captain Nito, you know, the heart and soul in many ways of everything that you love about the game. So he says hi.
Yep. So one thing about Celeste auto attack is it travels incredibly slow if you haven't noticed. So it's actually really funny to watch someone like run away with like a sliver of health with this little thing trailing them, and then they just die when they get hit. It's just, that's the funniest moment.
and it's not awkward, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. Also, just like the basic attack speed and just using her basic attack in general. It's a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah, definitely. It'll feel a little bit different than other characters, but you know, once you get used to it, it's not really a big issue. Like we wanted them to feel like sort of like spells, but so we didn't want to make them super easy to last hit with. We wanted to make sure that, you know, they feel really like punchy when they do hit you.
The Pirate John, this is DJ here.
DJ.
He's following chat. He's gonna ask questions. He's representing you. So if your question isn't asked, the burning question that you want to know, like we have given him no limitations. He can say whatever he wants. Or at least that's what I'm saying publicly. So
he's actually just kicking him under the table.
Blame him if your question isn't asked, because he is here to represent you today. And he has headphones in so he can hear the live stream itself, not because he's antisocial.
No, that's true.
Although he
doesn't want to talk to
marginally
us.
antisocial.
That's also not true. That's not true.
Are we unveiling? God, that's some great. Dante kills Virgil. Pretty greedy, man. We are not unveiling any more heroes today.
Yes.
You will have to wait and see. It is unconfirmed what will happen with Vox. Is Vox a hero in the game?
Maybe.
Is Vox not a hero? All we can tell you is that we have revealed Celeste. Celeste is the next hero entering the Halcyon fold. Oh, there is a really intense Jewel ult as she dies, but still good times.
That was
still
awesome.
Good times right there.
That was great. So for people who are wondering about like what do I recommend to build on Celeste, my personal first item is almost always Frostburn. It's overwhelmingly good once you hit your overdrive on your Heliogenesis, just because it really lets you, having this slow lets you like eat people around with your Heliogenesis and just constantly drop them to them. Like you land your first one, and then it makes it so much easier to land your second and third and fourth and fifth, and they're dead. So it's just a very effective item. Another item I like a lot is Aftershock, because the cooldown on her Heliogenesis is so low. You can constantly get Aftershock procs, especially if your opponents are like melee, pretty tanky. It's really nice to have those extra auto attacks backing up the punch of your Heliogenesis. And while it might not give you the most crystal, it still adds a lot of damage to your damage output.
And Shatterglass, man. So it is not at all confirmed, but you may have noticed when the shop was open, the version of Shatterglass in this game, I believe it costs 3,000 gold. I believe it gives you 150 crystal power.
I believe that's true.
That is unconfirmed. Oh, you just see a solar storm. Solar storms everywhere.
Watch me miss. I'm
but Shatterglass, at least the Shatterglass as it's constituted in these playtests, super powerful on Celeste. Really nasty.
The greed was real. The greed was pretty real.
All right, Taka's not going to get out of this, I don't think. You're so sure he's not getting out of it. You're pulling up the shop.
Don't even have to watch. I know he's dead. So one other really useful item on Celeste is Eve Harvest. Having that crystal lifesteal is actually extremely useful, because if you do take some damage, you can actually heal up relatively quickly by spamming out your Heliogenesis and just constantly doing damage. So it gives you a little bit of sustain in fights, gives you a little bit of sustain in lane. I personally don't like getting it first, but it's actually not bad as a first item.
I saw Mr. Payne saying that her death animation seems too fast. That's because literally her death animation is not in the game.
Yes,
like,
this is true.
Like it is being it's done and the polish is being put on it right now, but it's literally like we could not show you this stuff today and have everything in. It was an either or. So it's going to be a nice, pleasant surprise. When you get your hands on Celeste, she's going to have cooler animations. She's going to have cooler particle effects. She's going to have cooler sound effects, sound effects that are not scarf sound effects. So lots to look forward to, in addition to getting your hands on the cool new super squishy, super blue, super crystal powered mage.
Yep. So for those of you who do like playing those burst mage type characters, I think Celeste is for you. Like, I think I'm going to be playing so much Celeste in the coming weeks. I don't know. She's just so fun to play.
So they're a really good rocket leap from the Jewel, getting a stun off and getting a kill. Contested gold mine fight.
Yeah, you see, playoff here is actually just staying on the edge of the fight, trying to harass us, and it's fairly effective. It forces my teammates to constantly keep moving, and if they stop, then they take a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I was hoping to steal gold mine there with the heliogenesis. Not the easiest thing to do unless you can get that second star to explode at exactly the right time.
You can't do that when it's already on your team.
Oh, jeez. I'm getting too distracted by the chat. We were just trying to hold you off there. I'm sorry.
Someone from the chat named Charlie
Enemy team
suggested
stole a
that the
minion
new ult
mine.
name
Your
for
minions have been
Celeste should be
reset.
Star Barrage.
Star Barrage. It's not bad. It's
Or
not
solid-
bad.
Excuse me, Cosmic Barrage.
Cosmic Barrage. All right,
Well,
we
it has
had.
a kick to it.
Yeah, we had
combined two.
one of the other ones floating around here was Starmageddon,
Starmageddon.
which I don't know. I kind of feel like that would be like just a nuke,
Yes.
right? Like
It looks like a giant comet.
if we had Zig's bomb in our game, that would be the Starmageddon. I don't
That
know.
would be
I'm a little-
amazing.
but it's still a cool name. I don't
Yeah.
know. I could see it. I could see it.
One or two
Yeah.
minion mines.
We've been throwing around quite a few names, so we're not quite settled on one yet, but you know, we'll see.
For CD Nuts and all the other people, when will she be out? We honestly can't tell you.
Yeah.
We honestly can't tell you.
As
We're
soon
gonna-
as we can.
As soon as we possibly can. We have to lock her down. We have to finish all the polish. Then we have to submit to Apple. Then Apple gets like a bajillion submissions every day. We have to kind of, pray on the altar of Apple. They've been so good to us, but how fast they can, check the build and approve the build kind of depends on their capacity. Once we get that approval, we'll obviously pull the trigger and get Celeste out to you. So I would say, just to kind of set expectations, bare minimum a week from now, bare minimum.
Yep.
So it's going to be a little bit, but you'll be able to watch this video. You'll be able to think about your team comps, think about your item builds, what you want to do with her, and we'll try to get some early guides on Vainglory Fire. You have the early edge. You'll be able to jump in. She'll cost the same as Arden, most likely, for both Glory and Ice. When you get your hands on her, you'll be ready.
Yep, definitely.
I got to pay more attention to the game so that I do not say stupid things.
It's all good. It's all good.
Interesting question from the chat. Speak up.
This is about Celeste's ult. Bacon Blitz is asking, is the ult weaker the further you're away from it, or is the power the same, say if you were across the map?
Enemy is
As of this moment, it's the same power no matter where you hit it. So it doesn't matter if you're hitting it point blank or if you're hitting it across the map. In fact, it's extremely epic when you hit it across the map and they're like just finished recalling, lands in fountain with 1 HP and die instantly. That's happened to me a few times. It's very sad. But damage does not decrease and it does not increase as of this point. It may change, but for now it will not. It's like that.
Yeah, the important thing to remember is that the more points, the more upgrades, the more ability points you spend on your ultimate, the more stars it adds, and it adds them horizontally.
I believe it starts at 3 and then 5 and then
it gets
7.
wider and wider and wider. So when it comes to those across the map skill shots, you're gonna have a better chance of picking someone off with 1 or 2 stars, once you've had a bunch of points put in that ultimate.
Yep, definitely. So, in terms of damage output, I think damage output does increase a little bit with each level, or as much as any other ultimate would. But it's actually a pretty tough decision between getting more core collapse or more points in the Solar Storm.
J-Ray says Cosmic Cannon.
Ooh,
that's good.
I like that has a ring
Cipher
to it.
Carver, Nuclear Nebula.
Nice.
These are
very
the
good
alliteration is real.
Yeah, I like it.
Enemy team stole a minion mine. Your
We'll have to
minions
really
That's
that.
like they just put them together. It's the meat sandwich.
Yeah, that's a great name. So you might see I've got Frostburn, Eve of Harvest, and I'm going to control that Shatter Glass. But one thing I should have built this game was probably Broken Myth earlier, because Broken Myth against someone who does have a lot of shielding, like Glaivelare, who is basically unkillable for me, is something I definitely should have had. And especially with our team, we have a sizable chunk of damage, and ouch, DJ just got absolutely wrecked by Celeste.
I wouldn't say absolutely.
Absolutely wrecked.
Rockstar Nami says the name should be Julia's Revenge.
No.
That's pretty nasty.
See, this is the Celeste attack. The slow trailing auto attack just kills you.
The Celeste heroic perk does make reference to Julia. It is Julia's Light.
Yep.
Yeah. Could be Julia's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe the next hero is Julia.
Maybe it's
Julia, the ghost of Julia
returned as a nightmare goat.
Yes. He'll just be
like I don't know. I don't want to say spoiler. Like a popular series of books and television program that has a returning matriarch in a undead fashion.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Yes.
And let someone else spoil it. All right, this was a much better game for me. I did an Aftershock in this game. You tried to go Eve Frostburn. Not as good. I am the winner.
I actually really do like Aftershock of her. I don't know if I build it too often, but when I do, it feels really good to just like you basically do drop your Heliogenesis and then you auto attack. Drop your Heliogenesis, auto attack, move. Heliogenesis, auto attack, move. And just constantly chasing people down.
One more time.
Auto attack, Heliogenesis. Okay. Heliogenesis, auto attack, move. This is like a tongue twister. I can't handle this anymore.
Oh, no.
I think we should reset for anyone joining us late and walk through all of the abilities again.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes.
Let's do that.
All right, so if you're joining us late, this is the big hero reveal event for Celeste.
Thing.
She will be in 1.1.8 along with all the social pings that you're seeing throughout these games. This is an internal build of the game. It has missing particle effects. I'm so sorry, Matt. It has missing animations. I'm so sorry, Jerome. It has missing sound effects. I'm so sorry, Jason, I guess. But we wanted to show you before she came out. So this is the best we could do, and I hope you love it. And we're gonna walk through the abilities while I do ice.
So, Celeste. This is Celeste. Hi, Celeste.
Hi, Celeste.
She says hi to you. Oh, hello. So her perk is Julia's Light. Celeste's basic attacks are spells, dealing crystal damage with a 50% crystal ratio. So that basically means building crystal will make her auto attack.
Did you just say Billy Crystal?
I feel like I heard
No.
that too.
Okay, fine. Billy Crystals. I don't know who Billy Crystal is.
We have Billy Crystal.
What? All right, we're gonna take that offline. We're gonna take that offline. Let's do it. Harry Met Sally, City Slickers.
No cake and no Billy Crystals.
Okay.
This is how it is. All right. In any case, so we basically wanted to make her auto attacks feel like targeted spells, and they're very effective at that, as you've seen in the previous 2 games we showed you. So they look pretty epic, and while they travel fairly slowly, they do pack a punch. Her first ability is Heliogenesis. What is going on here? So Celeste forms a small star at a target location, and it deals crystal damage to nearby enemies. So literally, you use Heliogenesis on a location, a star will appear. It'll do damage after like 0.6 seconds, and then it just stays there doing nothing for like 6 or 7 seconds afterwards. However, if you drop another star on top of a currently placed star, it will go supernova and will do damage in a fairly big radius around it, and both stars obviously explode. Her second ability is Core Collapse. So Core Collapse is you target a location, and then after a short delay, the core collapses, and then anyone caught in it will be stunned. So if you see those sparklies on the ground, stay away from them. And her ultimate is Solar Storm. She basically throws stars everywhere, across the map, across the world, wherever she wants them to go. And it's basically a global that will increase in size the more points you put in it. The first level only has 3 particles. It has like a leading star and then 2 following stars. But as you upgrade it, it'll have 5, 7 particles, and it just makes it easier to hit, and the damage increase is pretty decent, I believe.
All right, so for Sode72, Suno Spray, and Josh Spiker 12, congratulations, 1,000 ice each, completely, utterly random. I click the roll button and it tells me who wins. If you win, send a private message to Vainglory on Twitch. Give us your Vainglory player name. We will get you your 1,000 ice each. If you cannot figure out how to do that, send an email to support@superevilmegacorp.com.
Yep. So congratulations to you 3.
Congrats.
And let's hop into our next Celeste game. So here we go.
Let's do it.
This one started a little bit late. Cause issues.
Joined in progress.
However, yeah, joined in progress. However, this one is different. We're jungling Celeste this time.
All right, so that was a question. I saw that fly by in the chat. Can you do Jungle Celeste?
Oh yeah.
I haven't. Let me say this just as a word of caution. Zekent is much better than me at this game and at life.
I don't know about that.
But I have not won a single match with Jungle Celeste, and I am trying.
Hey, Jungle Celeste is awesome.
So
I'm going to show it to you right
why,
here.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
So Jungle Celeste is really good at invading, and in her clear speed is actually phenomenal. Like right here, actually Evil Finn is just being totally caught out.
Tears of the Stars.
Ooh,
Very
I like
poetic.
that. That is
That's
nice.
less poetic, more visceral.
Yeah, as you can see,
All right.
Celeste is very good at keeping her range. Her auto attacks do pack a punch, so she's very effective in those early jungle invades. It's very hard to keep up with her damage against, like, many heroes will not be able to keep up with her early game damage because their abilities are on a much longer cooldown than her 3-second Heliogenesis cooldown, and she can clear the jungle camps extremely quickly. So basically, whenever you want to go kill some, drop like 2 or 3 stars, they're gone. The supernovas will additionally do more damage. So as you can see, I'm already like, what, I think 2-0 this game, and it's only 3 minutes in. So it's similar to Scarf in jungle, where you kind of want to do those early invades, and you also do have that pretty decent clear speed.
I love Scarf Jungle.
Scarf jungle is fantastic. That is actually one of my favorite junglers.
I don't know, maybe I'm just playing too aggressive. I mentioned before just how important positioning, proper positioning is going to be with Celeste, making sure you don't get caught out.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm just being too aggressive with her in the jungle because I'm just getting caught out too much.
That is possible. So one thing you want to do in the jungle is to make sure you're constantly farming. If you're not pulling off a successful gank, if you're not able to invade the jungle, your opponent's jungle successfully, you want to make sure you're staying on your side, getting as much gold as you can, because Celeste really does need the money. If she doesn't get a good amount of gold, she just really doesn't do that much damage, and in that case, you're just not too useful. So right here, you do see me looping around, maybe getting a gank off. We're gonna try. Oh, so Playopbeard actually does face check and somehow dodges my core class because he face checked into a bush. Who does that? Come on.
With Celeste. So I'm playing Celeste like Arden? That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, she learns from her
Well,
father.
I think probably what I was doing is I was looking to harass with Heliogenesis, not knowing there was someone in the brush. And
that was the most
then
epic dodge ever.
Discovering that there's someone in the brush.
You literally dodged like core class by not paying attention.
So, yes, I'm Trouble asking, can Celeste steal Kraken with Solar Storm?
Confirmed.
Yes, has been done.
Yeah, it's been done. It is reduced damage on Kraken.
Yes, it is drastically reduced damage on Kraken, and
Yeah,
I'm not
the
sure about
speed
mini
of light
mines.
should be
No, probably
just
not.
So it's
Oh,
hard.
no,
It's hard.
It's
but
less
it can
on
be
all
done.
minions, I believe.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. It does still pack a punch even with the reduced damage. Like, it's still like 7 particles flying in and hitting Kraken, so still does a good chunk. So right here you see I'm pretty much trying to clear out the enemy jungle as often as possible.
light is your
One thing about counter jungling that people may or may not know is that the longer a jungle camp stays alive, the more it's worth. So actually trying to invade your enemy jungle and just not killing yours for a very long time is a very effective strategy, because when you do go clear your own jungle camps, they're going to be worth a lot more gold than any other ones in the map. So right here we're sneaking up behind Playopbeard.
That's not nice. So there you see a core collapse land. It allows her to hit a Heliogenesis followed by a Solar Storm. There you see the full combination in effect, completely melts me.
Yep. And that was probably total overkill because he had like 1 sliver of health left and I just used Solar Storm anyway. So probably not my best move ever, but you know, it's about sending a message sometimes.
Yeah, and for those who are saying or thinking the ult looked cooler before, am I missing something? You're right. You're right. The build we have for showing you the full matches does not have the latest particle effects for that ultimate, so it will look much cooler when you get to play her.
It will also have enemy colors and ally colors, so because right now, the ones you're watching, all the colors are the same, and you don't really want to be trying to dodge your own allied Celeste ultimates, because that really makes no sense.
Can Core Collapse stun Munions?
I think it stuns everything except Kraken.
We'll check.
Or everything that normally gets stunned. It stuns everything that normally gets stunned. So it does not stun turrets, it does not stun Kraken.
What about Clockwork? No.
Clockwork.
Clockwork on Celeste.
Clockwork on Celeste is actually a very, very effective item.
Good.
You sometimes don't need too much more energy regen because you already have to build a decent chunk of it. However, the cooldown acceleration is pretty useful, especially if you're going more of a supporting build. Like, one build I actually really like doing is like you get a Warhorn, you get like 2 or 3 clockworks, and you just drop core collapses everywhere. You might not do much damage, but you're definitely providing enough clock control for your team so that they can do damage.
And you're seeing now, you know, almost a little bit of ARAM happening, but Celeste able to zone with Heliogenesis, putting down those stars and really dictating where the enemy goes and doesn't go, right? That whole sequence that you just saw was really dictated by the placement of those stars. So just a really interesting influence on the battlefield. You know, could an enemy Arden just decide to soak that damage and walk right through it and do what he wants to do anyway? Sure, he could, but it's both real in terms of damage and psychological, where it's like, I know if I touch that, I'm going to get damaged. I know if I get near that, she might place a second star, make it go supernova, and give me the AoE crystal damage. And you don't want to have happen what just happened to me right there. Solar Storms going in both directions.
That was actually kind of epic. We both Solar Storm at the same time.
An Arden Gauntlet with a stun. It almost works out, but does not work out.
Getting out with, you know, just a sliver of health left.
Not a good day for the good guys.
You mean, no, it's a great day for the good guys. What are you talking about?
I see a bunch of people asking about, will there be skins, will there be this, will there be that. All I can really tell you right now is we have a lot of stuff in progress. We really, really want you to feel like we have meaningful long-term progression in the game. I think that's, you know, a place where there's room for more. There's a lot of opportunity there. More uses for ice, more uses for glory. For people who want, you know, distinction between super casual play and a competitive track. You know, all these things are super important to us, and they are in progress. So, you know, stay tuned. We're not going to get into specifics, but we promise you there are some really cool things to come that, you know, I'm super excited about. I think you're going to be really excited about, so stay tuned.
Definitely. But yeah, so as you can see, Celeste, not really outranging Petal, but you can definitely put the hurt on her. Like, playing against fairly squishy opponents is really something Celeste is not great at. Like, if you're playing against a Ringo can actually just run at you and kill you. However, if you're playing against someone who doesn't have quite the amount of burst that Ringo does, like playing against a Saw, playing against a Petal, you can actually slowly chunk them down fairly effectively, because one star after another, if they're unable to get away, you can do some serious damage. And right here, I'm going to try to snipe out Arden, get the kill. No problem.
Yeah, and you saw in that trade, the Celeste back and forth, you saw that really natural combo of core collapse into heliogenesis. You saw Zekent anticipate the movement of the Arden and place a star where he expected Arden to go. And one more thing, you know, turrets a lot of the time are really these safe havens. Dropping those stars, it can really kind of mess with people's heads, where normally they're used to just kind of cowering behind that turret, and suddenly, you know, there's stars popping up right in their lap, making them reposition. It can have an interesting impact.
Yeah, definitely. So,
that was a that was like an angsty solar storm. Like, you know, you won that fight, but if you're gonna recall, I'm gonna. Yeah.
It happens sometimes. So, one thing about her heliogenesis is that because you do get the increased range when you do get the overdrive on it, it's not too good of a harass tool against under towers early on. But once you hit that level 5 point, it becomes a very, very effective zoning and harassment tool. Because most heroes will not be able to run at you too easily. Like, still you'll have Taka jumping on you, you'll still have Koshka jumping on you, but many ranged characters will not be able to fight her as easily as they would otherwise, because they have to constantly reposition themselves, make sure they don't get hit by heliogenesis, make sure they don't get hit by core collapse, make sure the solar storm doesn't flatline destroy them. And it just makes it a much more dynamic battlefield.
I'm seeing a lot of questions. I'm just not going to go through them one by one. But when it comes to nuanced things like the kind of damage that Scout Trap does, how long it takes for a jungle camp to respond, there are some really great Vainglory Fire guides that get into all of this. I know Blue Badger in particular has really tried to break down some of the kind of quote-unquote hidden numbers in the game. So go check out Vainglory Fire. You're going to find a lot of your answers there. And if you don't get your answer, then you know, reach out to us, you know, online chat or in the forums, and we'll make sure, you know, to let you know what's up.
Yep, definitely. So right there you saw power of Celeste and Petal together, just completely obliterating the enemy team 2v3. So pretty fantastic. Not to mention, you know, we are a little bit ahead at like 7-0-3. So things are going pretty well.
So again, Eve of Harvest in this. So the obvious potential there is you're outputting a lot of crystal and you're gonna get some life back.
Yep, definitely. As long as you can keep your range, you can slowly heal up even against like really high damaging targets. Ooh, barely made it out.
So Petal putting on the hurt before going down.
Oh yeah. So one thing about heliogenesis is like you really have to do these things. You have to be very accurate with your abilities because if you miss, then you miss. As you saw there, like I probably could have killed Petal there, but I did a slight mistap and, you know, left to start there.
Yeah, beyond that, like, you wanted to land heliogenesis on the trailing hero. So you went out far enough that you could not recover. You could not get out. Right?
So it's very easy to like misposition or extend too far on Celeste because you always want to land that, you know, just one more star, because it's on such a short cooldown and it feels like if you just land that one more, you'll get the kill. But sometimes you just put yourself in a really, really bad position.
Speaking of the heliogenesis, T-Bone from the chat wants to know, does heliogenesis do continuous damage or does it hurt once?
It's a single burst of damage. It does not do damage around it. It might look like it might, but it does not. So a star that's just sitting out in the world doesn't really do anything other than Grand Vision.
So Rashid757 asking about, will we ever have like detailed death reports and stuff like that? You're seeing the very beginning of that in 1.1.8, which is battle log. So you'll notice in the right of the screen when somebody dies, it says who died and who killed them right there. So Petal killed an Arden, and the enemy Petal killed a Celeste, right? Adagio took a minion mine. You know, these are all things that you're seeing a battle log on the right side of the screen now. So that's kind of the beginning, and safe to say, if you're thinking about it, if you're interested in it, that it's probably on the roadmap somewhere.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I actually really like the battle log because it's like sometimes I'm not really watching the rest of the map. I'm just like, you know, kind of doing my own thing, farming, fighting someone else. And it's really nice to be able to see, oh, okay, my ally just killed someone, or my ally got killed by someone, or, you know, Kraken has been taken, or whatever.
Brian Kimbo asks, will you be able to
Here comes the Solar Storm,
and
all the way across the map. And so it,
so close.
Yeah, so it caught it. So a couple stars clipped me there, right? So again, it's like each star will individually do damage in that, you know, volley that comes out. So your aim will depend on it, you know, how much damage you actually do.
Yep, definitely. So you might see there, in between each heliogenesis, I'm trying to start as many auto attacks as I can because it just does a lot of damage.
There's the cheers. 3 cheers right there.
All them cheers.
And now you're gonna.
And now we are going
turrets?
to die, maybe? No? Things are okay. No, things are okay. Oh. Nope. Maybe? Yeah, take that.
This is fun.
So again, the hyper-aggressive play, trying to kill DJ.
Always gotta be hyper aggressive. And worth.
It's gonna take me a little time. It's gonna take me a little time. I main Kashka, as many of you know. I'm playing a ton of Arden.
Yeah.
Switching it up to kind of the way that you really need to keep Celeste right on the edge, right around the periphery of the action, to make sure you don't get caught out, make sure you're staying behind your tank, making sure you're, you know, making sure you can't get bursted down, that someone else can peel for you. It's going to take me a little bit to switch my mindset and really play her super well.
Yeah, definitely. So, someone asked if the stars are visible to your enemy teams. Yes, they are. Like you can see on right now, enemy stars are in like the reddish color, allied stars are in like the purplish color. So it's pretty distinctive, I'd say.
Yeah, the speed of light.
Right there, see that red star versus my pink star or my purple. Pink? Purple? I think it's pink, right? It's like purple pink.
Whatever you want.
Play again.
Lavender.
Sure. I don't know my colors apparently.
Twitch purple.
Yes. Twitch.
So again, a really nice solar storm, and that essentially turns the fight.
Yep, and we're running potentially ending the game. Like we might be able to tank things, and you know we're giving out the cheers. The longer you hold it down, the more cheers there are. So
it's nice. You can give a thumbs up to an ally who makes a good play. You can do the cheers kind of at the start of the match or at good moments. You can cry when you fail.
I do that a lot.
It's kind of nice, but you know, for me, I'm super into the tactical pings. I really like having the caution as opposed to the don't, because I can use that differently. It's more multi for me. I really love the group up, and my favorite actually was the MIA. That was just super important. I felt like that was really missing. So again, I melt from a solar storm right there.
It hits pretty hard.
Yeah, this one.
Arden actually takes me out. Wow, that's some pretty heavy damage. But we're able to, you know, end the game. I'm gonna give a few thumbs up to my team.
Thumbs up.
Good stuff. And
Double thumbs up. Thumbs up means more ice. Thumbs up
So
means
it's
more
time
ice.
for some more ice. Are you guys ready for more ice? You're ready for more ice.
They're usually ready for ice. They usually do not have a problem taking ice.
I just destroyed the overlay. That's fine. It's all good.
You just like just killed it for
I
good?
just killed it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, we don't need it anyway.
We don't need it anymore.
Because we're already on the last item.
This is true.
It's just like, screw that, man.
Hello.
Chimera's work down the drain.
I'm sorry, Chimera.
Doesn't matter.
I ruined everything for you.
All right, let's do more ice. Try to just, while we're doing ice, call out as many questions as you can.
All right, let's do it.
So get those questions in.
And Before Midnight asks, is Tanky Celeste viable in any way?
Is Tanky Celeste viable in any
It's
way?
a good question. I like
Yes,
that
I think with an Aftershock, she's actually fairly viable. It's not the greatest in terms of damage output, but if you get enough cooldown acceleration, Tanky Celeste is actually a very, very strong control mage. So that basically means she's able to throw stuns out a lot. She's able to get vision on her opponents with Heliogenesis, with her auto attacks, with her ultimate. And being able to lock people down with the core collapse is actually very, very effective.
All right.
Let's see. Our first winner is...
Wait, first winner is...
First winner is Jay the King 123. Congratulations.
Jay the King 123. Second winner
Is Charcoal Sand Leads. Sand Leads? Sandal Lads. Charcoal Sandal Lads? I don't know.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You win 1,000 ice. 1,000 ice is yours.
And one more
How
winner.
will you spend it?
Who will be our last winner? It will be Agent Q52.
Agent Q52.
Sounds dangerous.
I know you. I don't know. I don't know him. That's why
All
I
right.
better rhyme. All right, is a winner
You are a winner.
of 1,000 ice, not a million, 1,000.
All right, let's hop into yet another game of Celeste. Here we go.
I saw someone asking, will Kashka get a buff? Kashka is under review. That doesn't mean that she will get a buff, but it means that it's something that we're looking at.
Yeah. So this time we have Playoff Feared. Star of the show.
This is I want to be the star.
You are the star.
I want to, from my perspective,
You can be the star summoning stars.
and we can see how bad I am at this moment.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
I will adapt.
Yes. It takes some time, definitely. Celeste is very tricky to pick up at first because she doesn't play quite like any other hero currently in the game. So, you know, you should, if you pick her up when she comes out, you know, give her a few games. It might be a little bit tricky at first, but you'll get the hang of
I
it.
am my own
Agent Q and any other winners, go to Vainglory profile on Twitch. So it's like /profile from where you are now. Click on the gear, click on the message button, and give us your Vainglory player name. If you cannot figure it out or you're on a mobile device, just send an email to support. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about it.
And don't worry, we're going to make a post on the forums with all the names of the winners. So if you're a winner, just check the forum post. If you're not sure if you won, check the forum post anyway.
I'll do a recap right here. The formatting is a little bit wonky, but
Don't look directly at me.
all winners, not all whiners, all winners so far.
All you whiners.
All you whiners who want your ice, why just play the game? You don't need the ice.
Alrighty.
Okay? It's a free download.
So this game, we might be able to see some Celeste and Catherine action. Like the double stun, pretty good. Could be pretty good. So let's see if we can pull it off.
For the person asking, Vainglory is 100% touchscreen game. Right now, that means iPad 2 and up, iPhone 5S on iOS 8 and newer. So iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus. And there are workarounds in the forums, non-jailbroken workarounds in the forums for your iPhone 5.
Yep.
So that is possible too. It's just not, it's not technically supported, but if you want to, do a little bit of manipulation, you can make that happen, and it's pretty fine.
Yep, you can definitely pull it off. So if you're interested in trying to play on an iPhone 5, go for it.
If you did not win ice, if you do not win ice, stay tuned. We're going to host Lady Wabish. She's going to keep giving away ice. Super fun. Just it'll be a good time. And you should do that. And that'll be good time.
Yep, definitely. But first, we got to finish this game up. Or get it started. It's like 2 minutes in. So maybe not finish it up quite yet. We're taking our time. So how do you like to build Celeste?
So far, Frostburn first. I mean, so again, for anyone who might be joining us late, Celeste's basic attacks, they are weapon in a sense, but they have like a spell component overlay on top. So it's if you buy Weapon Blade, you'll just get really crap weapon, like worse than anyone else pretty much.
No, it'll be the same. It'll still be one. It's just crap. It's the same as anyone else, but
I thought the base values were lower.
Oh, her base values are terrible.
Yeah.
But so if you do buy weapon power, you still get the 1 ratio.
Yeah, it's true. But so buying weapon, not so much. But you know, her basic attacks will also have a crystal power component. So you really want to build her blue. Frostburn first, because it's crystal power, because it's technically also a spell, it will proc Frostburn. Frostburn has its own kind of stickiness, slowing cooldown every time it goes off. So the same hero won't immediately get stunned over and over again. So Celeste's basic attacks will be gated. The Frostburn slow will be gated by Frostburn's cooldown. But still, Frostburn's basic attacks proc Frostburn, which is super powerful. So Frostburn first. I like a little bit of cooldown acceleration, maybe just an hourglass, maybe a chronograph. That's really enough to be able to put out, especially my core collapse, as much as I want to be able to get those stuns off. And then I'm still experimenting. I really like Shatterglass on her in the version of Shatterglass that is in this game, which is more expensive and 150 crystal power. I cannot guarantee that it's going to be that way on live in 1.1.8. And then I really like Broken Myth on her for reasons that I'm not going to get into because that item is still, we're still doing a lot of possible considerations, and if I get down the rabbit hole, it's going to be too confusing because for all I know, the version of Broken Myth that we're playing with right now will never see the light of day.
Yes.
So I'm just not even going to go into it. But in terms of the build that you're watching right now, I do like Broken Myth on her, and if Broken Myth is changed in 1.1.8, I'll make sure that we talked about that in terms of Celeste at the same time that the update comes out.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of in the general sense, I like going a lot of crystal power, and then because of that, I like Eve on her. So I like that combination, and I'm playing around with alternating current, which seems like a really good idea, and aftershock, which also seems like a really good idea. But at its simplest, Frostburn, because it's just too damn good. Tons of crystal power, probably in the form of Shatterglass, and enough cooldown acceleration that you feel like you can get off your stun Heliogenesis combination. And then I like team comps with someone like a Krull, someone like a Catherine, where you can put a couple of stuns together or have someone get that stun for you that will help you land your Heliogenesis. And then a tank. You must have a tank. Do not try a Kashka Celeste Taka combo unless you're gonna do a really health tank Kashka or something. Like Celeste is super squishy. She needs a tank. She needs a damage soaking tank.
Also, you might notice when you do place Heliogenesis out, you always want to put it not exactly on your target because they can generally move out of it. You want to put it slightly towards where you think they're going to go, because you basically have to lead your shots, and sometimes it doesn't work out for you, sometimes it does. But one thing you can do is if you put a star in front of them, in front of your opponent where they're running to, and the other path is them running back towards you, it lets you get the free auto attack off too, which does do quite a bit of damage with the crystal power scaling. So you basically make them choose. Do you want to get hit by a Heliogenesis? Do you want to get hit by an auto attack? Or maybe drop a Heliogenesis on top near a core collapse, and it's which one do you want to take? You really have to make your opponents make decisions with her. In terms of ability build or skill build, what do you usually go with? Like, I see here you're going more core collapse, but I think you said earlier that you like maxing heliogenesis for
Yeah,
now.
so I've been experimenting with it a lot. My conclusion right now, unless things change, is that maxing heliogenesis is the way to go because of the range increase. For zoning, for damage out, for harassing, for late game, it's really, 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 really good. My instinct out of the gate was to max core collapse, and I think it can work. In this, like as of right now, what is the overdrive on core collapse?
The core collapse overdrive is currently, it goes from 1 second stun to 1.5 seconds stun. So it's actually fairly good.
Yeah. So obviously that's been played with throughout the process, the length of that. And so if it's at 1.5, if you want to max B and you want to focus on being like a chain stun comp, you could go that way. You could go that way. You could try like a Celeste Catherine crawl.
Oh gosh,
Celeste,
that's nasty.
Celeste Catherine Jewel, who's maxing, maxing the rocket leap to reduce the cooldown on that.
That sounds super nasty to play against. And this is why you don't face check. This is why we don't face check. Me and Playoff here together, we're just walking into enemy jungle and getting killed without our teammates to back us up. So probably not our brightest move, but it's still fun. Sometimes you have to go and just like do some exploring. It's fun. Why not? So, let's see. What are your thoughts between maxing core collapse or solar storm? Because that's actually a pretty tough decision in my opinion.
Yeah, so I right now 100% maxing Celeste's ultimate, and it's because those additional stars on the ult give you a much higher likelihood of landing your skill shot. It is 100% global skill shot. If you're going to try to snipe someone from across the map, you might predict their movement almost perfectly. Like a quarterback who's trying to throw a ball, 50 yards downfield to a receiver who's, putting on a late move to try to, get away from a cornerback. You might pull that off, but chances are the enemy is not going to be precisely where you expected by the time that ultimate reaches them. So having those extra stars is going to, width-wise, is going to increase the likelihood that you're going to at least flip them with some damage, as well as just having more stars to output damage for those like in-your-face, point-blank range ultimates. So, I've been known to max A and B. Like sometimes I like maxing the Pounce and the Twirly Death on Koshka. Until the Scarf buff, I was really into maxing both the Goop and Spitfire on Scarf. So I do think it's very viable in this game. I know that Shinkagen, when he plays Weapon Adagio, he doesn't even put points in the ultimate until the late game.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so, in this game, it's very, very viable to max your first and second abilities instead of your ultimate, but I'm a big fan of maxing Solar Storm with Celeste right now.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of characters, it really depends on what your build is. Like, if you're playing Crystal Ringo, max your ultimate first. But if you're going Weapon Ringo, I usually don't even get a point in it until level like 9 or 10. I just feel like the other abilities are much more effective in a weapon path. However, Celeste getting Core Collapse versus Solar Storm, I can't really decide. They're both such good options. Like being able to drop a good Solar Storm on like in the very beginning of a team fight, like land a quick Core Collapse into a Solar Storm that just hits them 7 times can completely devastate an enemy team. However, getting those core collapses, if you have another stunner on your team, or just if your team needs some stuns, it's extremely, extremely good just to be able to just constantly stun them. If they have extra more melees on their team that they have to like engage your team and run at you, dropping core collapses can definitely slow them down and keep your team alive.
Yeah.
So for now, it looks like our team's not doing too hot. We're 4 and 5. Actually, it's not so bad, but Celeste is having a pretty rough time. Because, the other team is really focusing on her. They're pretty tough to get away from. Celeste is not very mobile. She's up against a Saw, an Assassin Saw even, a Petal, and a Cruel. So Cruel can throw it out from Hell's Heart, which just does crazy amounts of damage. The stun is brutal for Celeste because she gets hit by it. She is almost definitely going to die. There's not much else other way to save her. So
Shall we
buying
play again?
a reflex block on Celeste is not bad, but it's really hard to like forego the damage output I can get. Like taking up a whole item slot to get a reflex block is very, very rough to do on Celeste, because she just relies on her damage so much.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention, you can see it in the frame, I think.
Ally
So one more thing, when it comes to the Arden contest that I want to call out,
Allied hero
Yuma
killed.
Rankin.
Ah, yes.
I mean,
Enemy is
Yeah.
the
wrestling.
Yarden. This is the knit Arden. I mean, come on,
Yarndin.
Yarnden.
It's
How-
Yarndin.
How amazing is this? Look at got the pack on it and everything. Yeah,
Super, super cool.
Yeah.
Reason to be here.
Fist. Yeah, just amazing. So if you want to see Yuma Rankin and Shinkagen, they're doing on, I believe it's Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific. They're going to do another one of their crazy 6 webcam extravaganzas.
Yeah.
It's like a full LAN party, 6 webcams on the same game. Everyone in the same match, everyone who's in the match is there. It's really, really fun. So check that out on Sunday. I might even pop in and be one of the bobbleheads there.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be super exciting. Highly recommend watching it. So right here you see.
I'm gonna grab some water.
Okay, go for it. So Crystal Saw.
Enemy is
This is like Evil Andre's patented Crystal Saw, which is
Enemy team
absolutely
collected
terrifying.
from gold mine.
I'm sorry for anyone who has to play against it in solo queue. It's completely brutal to play against.
You have been killed. Take my
Evil Andre's Crystal Saw.
Enemies
It's a terror. It is a terror.
Ace.
I admit I've been playing it quite a bit, so
Yeah.
I'm not helping, but
Andre's
it's
a dick.
it's a lot of fun.
Satan Aftershock in the chat wants to know about Celeste's attack speed, how it compares with Scarf's, slower,
Ooh.
faster, similar.
The range is shorter. The attack speed I think is about the same. Yeah, I think it's about the same.
Can you stutter step her?
You can start step on anyone.
Right, but like it was particularly fast for her. I was looking at it today.
Was it?
Seemed like
Okay,
it.
maybe. We may have that.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
So
But
Carlo's showing it today.
yeah, so I don't think her attack speed is particularly slow. It's not slower than anyone in particular, but it's not the fastest. Like, especially a particle projectile. It's actually really funny if you build attack speed on her, because
Yeah, the speed
you're
of
throwing
light
out all these auto attacks, and there's like all in air, like slowly traveling to your opponent, and they just like, it's like imminent doom, and they just can't get away from it.
It looks like heat seeking.
Yeah, they can run around as much as they like, and they're gonna get hit by it eventually. Oh, Kraken-tastic. Doing some jumps.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that. The crystal saw is just
Enemy
crazy.
team collected from gold mine.
Oh, terrifying.
Allied
You don't want to play
hero
against that.
destroyed.
Yeah. He gets. Was he? Did he get broken myth?
Yeah, so
Goes right through.
Coming
your
in.
shit.
oh, he's coming in.
Oh no!
All right, I'm bringing in to Cheesy.
To cheesy.
Cheesy or tea
Enemy team
cheesy?
stole a
cheesy.
minion
Either
mine.
way.
I call him
Minions have been
Cheesy.
Oh,
reset.
too cheesy.
So all of the new ping stuff that you're seeing, he's intimately involved in that stuff. He can talk about that a little bit,
Shall we play?
along with one of the nastiest pedal players. Are you Pinnacle of Awesome at this point?
He's playing pedal in this game.
No.
He's killing
Not
us.
yet. I'm hovering on Simply Amazing.
All right, so talk about pedal versus Celeste. Talk about the pings. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. Let's talk about things first. Sure. It looks like everybody's excited for him, so that's great. We got rid of the Avoid. It just felt too toxic. I don't know how much attention went over already.
Go over as much as you want.
So,
but yeah, we like the
I-
attention. I like to use it
Yeah,
two
Kraken was
ways.
here last week and we went through everything.
All of it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, but a lot of people didn't catch that. So you
Recap.
can talk about as much as you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, absolutely. So I personally use attention in two ways: as the old avoid, or also as a hey, pay attention to what's happening over here.
Hey, things are happening.
Yeah.
So DJ getting away with a sliver of health, courtesy of a fountain. Fountains, grr. But that was a pretty good ultimate by Kraken. However, just barely not enough damage to kill off DJ.
Kraken the player.
Kraken the player, yes. There's Kraken the Kraken and Kraken, or what is it? What is her name? What did we decide to name her?
Oh my God! So the leading candidates were like Olga and Agatha, I think.
Oh yeah, so like
And Helga and Ursula.
So not Kraken the Helga, not Helga the Kraken, but Kraken the Kraken,
Isaac.
who is Isaac the Kraken. This is very
Thanks
confusing.
for making that much more confusing.
You're welcome. All right. Anyway.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so we added the cluster up instead of a go here, because we use the go here ping a lot for like attack this thing.
Yeah.
So cluster up is good for getting the team in a specific position. And then the question mark I use, again, two ways. I use as a MIA in lane, but also a, hey, do you guys want to take the Kraken now? Do you want to take the minion mine? You can ask
that's cool.
your laner that way.
I
Like,
haven't done that, so you'll put like the question mark on the Kraken as like.
yeah, exactly.
What
What do you guys think?
So not quite a shot call, but like asking the team.
It's a question.
Should
right.
we
You
do
can,
this?
yeah, absolutely.
Like the way I like doing it is, you use a question mark on as a jungler on the minion mine.
Exactly.
It's like,
And say,
do you
like,
want me to take this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you can throw a go on it, like go
That's
there.
great. And take 2 seconds and just explain why that matters, because like, you know, just taking the mini mine in 4 minutes is not necessarily what you want to do.
Right. So minion mine is a very tricky thing to take sometimes because the minions, when you take a minion mine, your minions become stronger and they become worth more gold to your opponents. And because they are stronger than your opponent's minions, it makes it so that when your laner is just laning normally, that means like the lane will automatically push towards your opponent's side, leaving them in a little bit tricky position. So unless your junglers, you as a jungler is constantly like ready to support your laner, you can put them in a pretty bad spot because they're gonna be constantly pushed up to the enemy turret, and that just means like they might not be able to play very safely.
I tripped over my hair.
And right there,
Enemy is
getting killed by
impressive.
Cruel.
And that's cool. So,
Allied hero killed.
so you can put a question mark on the minion mine as a jungler,
Right.
asking the laner, hey, do you
Allied
want
hero
this now?
killed.
Do you want a little extra pushing power? Or
Enemy
is
is
this just going to
impressive.
make you overextend and get caught out?
Right.
Which is very important for Celeste. So Celeste probably doesn't want a 4-minute minion mine
No.
because then she's going to have to stand way too far out
Right.
for a squishy issue.
I personally like playing Celeste fairly aggressively, but if you do play, if you do try pushing out as Celeste, you have to be very, very sure that you have scout traps in the bushes, or just like your
Allied
teammates have to be
turret
completely ready to
destroyed.
help you out. Because if you get hit by a stud, you are almost definitely dead.
Allied turret
And right
destroyed.
here, are they into the game? Maybe? They're doing a lot of damage. I don't know if we're gonna be able to stop. We're dead. We are dead.
Allied hero killed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say,
So-
would you say right now that Tachizi is the nastiest pedal in the lair?
He is a pretty good pedal, I will say.
Yeah. Take
So
a couple minutes.
okay, so I always start with tension bow because unlike what surprise birthday says, I do. It's not overrated. It's actually the best item for weapon build,
Okay,
in my opinion.
so I've
So
talked
you think
to.
it is OP?
I have talked to Surprise Birthday about this, and he does agree that there is a time and a place for tension bow.
and it is. It's
And
at,
it is like
3 minutes.
It's like 3 minutes, like 9 minutes, and then after that it's kind of
Absolutely.
terrible.
Yeah. Then I go Blazing Salvo for speed, and then I go Tyrant's Monocle for the crit. Then I go Breaking Point, and I get boots when I can in there, when I have leftover. And then I will swap out my tension bow with the top damage tier thing. It's
Okay,
losing
Sorrow
my mind.
Blade.
So yeah, Sorrow Blade. It's,
It's not like
losing
you
it.
work here or
Just
anything.
yeah, well, I don't usually make it that far into the build. We usually win by that point.
Well, he always wins.
Yeah, that's true. I won every match today.
This
I
is
just wanna
true.
Point that out.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Okay, so then social pangs.
Social things.
Why
don't we
I'm
hop-
excited
how about-
about it.
Forget the social pings.
How about we-
How do you beat Celeste with pedal?
You've got to get her into the jungle. In the lane, she's super strong. She can put stars down all over, and then you cannot go there because as soon as you're on one, she'll throw one down on top of you. So, and then she's got that vision in the bush, so it's really hard to gank. So you kind of just have to hold out until you can get her down in the jungle, and then tear her up. That's where
Yep.
she's weakest.
It's pretty tough to. They're both kind of like really good at fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like they both have to just sit on really like
Please
far
stay. I'm gonna
ranges.
Jump into the seat so I can.
Okay.
do the ice
Oh yeah.
skate.
So we're
Don't
gonna
go.
have,
Don't go though. Stay.
I won't go. I'll stay here.
You're
I
gonna
just wanna
stay
give
for the
away
next
ice.
game because we can have play after you give out a little bit of advice, and then TCs can talk about the social pings in our next game
All right.
featuring DJ.
We're gonna do more ice winners. Keep asking questions. Here, you can wear that if you want.
I'm good.
Do you want to?
Those are pretty awesome, though. Where'd they come from?
These are for the masquerade.
Or something.
Vox and Celeste underground 18th birthday party.
awesome.
Lore dropping this weekend and it will make more sense then.
That's really cool. Crimson Beast in the chat is asking, can Celeste Star reveal Taka when he's hidden by his second ability? So I'm not.
I don't think so.
Like, no vision cone around.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a good question.
It does give vision around it, but I don't think it reveals things that are stealthed. I'm not 100% sure if that's true.
We should try that out because if it works like a scout trap, it would.
We will find out.
My guess is yes, but the honest answer is that even if we gave you an answer, it might change before it comes out.
So don't worry about it for now.
So my answer is tentatively yes, but it might change.
Yes. That's a pretty good answer.
That's very good.
All right, so who's going to win ice today? You want to read out the
more
winners?
Yes.
Oh, are you
come
serious right
on.
now?
You don't
Are
need
you serious?
ice.
I'm gonna do an extra one, but just because I'm gonna put it in here. Skipper 587 is a winner of 1,000 ice that he doesn't
not
need.
need ice
So if
at
you're
all.
if you're not watching Skipper's live stream, he is a Twitch streamer. Really, really great Vainglory player. I actually really like to duo queue with him.
Yeah.
So check out Skipper along with all of our other, amazing streamers. I'm not going to get into naming them.
There's too
I
many.
always get into trouble. There are a lot of them at this point.
You'll forget
but-
just one, and it'll just
So
be
I'm going
over.
to do 3 more.
Alrighty.
Because Skipper is just
Does not need it.
Does not need ice. All right.
Alrighty.
Next winner is.
Kian993.
All right, Kian993 is a winner.
Kian993.
I can't type of 1,000
There's a winner.
ice.
Congratulations.
T Cheesy, do us the honors.
All right. That should be impossible. Oh, lost number.
Lost number.
Congratulations, Lost Number. You're a winner.
Winner.
Good stuff.
Lost number is a winner of 1,000 ice. We will do one more. Because Skipper doesn't need ice, because he streams all the time.
So much ice.
Not Lorem, but
Ipsum 110.
Ipsum 110.
Ipsum 110. Congratulations.
Nice.
There's a
And let's hop into
winner.
another game.
Congrats.
Let's do this.
So again,
Oh.
the winners this round, Skipper 587, Keon 993, Lost Number, and Ipsum 110.
All right.
Won this time. I'm going to also drop in all the winners so far. The formatting is terrible. We will put it in the forums also, so don't worry about that.
Alrighty. So our last game with DJ being featured.
As
He'll
Steve.
do okay.
As
Oh,
myself.
it appears to have frozen. That is not a good sign. Let's take a look at this. Maybe it'll unfreeze after a while. Oh, okay. It fixed itself. All good.
There
I
you
didn't
go.
touch any. Oh, shoot. That's unfortunate.